If you're kind of yucked out by going to the library, but you don't want to spend $25 every time you read a book, I'll tell you what you can do in this episode. It passes the test of this germaphobe. In this episode, we'll talk about why used books are where it's at. You're listening to A Little Debbie. It's a bite-sized version of the longer podcast, Upcycling with Deb. I'm your host, Deb Colameta. I wrote a #1 best-selling book called Best Offer, Best Life. And you can get in touch with me and find out more information about the classes I offer, webinars, or debinars by going to my website, www.thedebsite.com. One of the benefits of a very gently used book is that, you get a big cost savings on not having to pay full price for the book. But another advantage besides just paying less, if you don't like the book, you're not invested in it $20, $25 if you don't like it. So you have more freedom in actually putting it down or passing it along to a friend or donating it forward. Especially with a used book, I can just pass it forward to a friend. That's called pass along readership. I can give it or get it from friends without any regard to needing it back. Kids' books often pile up and they're just about as expensive as grown-up novels. And sometimes I read a kid's book and I think, oh, geez, I could have done that, including the pictures. I want my money back. If you get a used book, you don't have the ickiness of maybe that highly circulated library book, but yet you get the benefit of being able to pay it forward without trying to worry about how much you spent on it. Plus, it keeps it out of a landfill. If you get your books from a friend, your used books, it's pre-screened, so there's a better chance that you'll like it. And if it's a used bookstore you're buying from, you're supporting a local business and not using too much gas by driving to a big box store. Of course, there is one book that I would recommend you buy. It's called Best Offer, Best Life, and you'll need your own copy so you can mark up all of the ways you're going to transform your space. Books from a used bookstore have cycled through way fewer people. So if you're thinking about germs and you're trying to be germ conscious, that's one way to own the book, to read in your hands, but not have to worry about the amount of money you spend on it, and also the germ factor in a pandemic. Of course, I have a whole podcast episode on how to take advantage of free audiobooks through your local library. So I hope you'll listen to that as well. Also in that episode about the free library app and how to use it to get free audiobooks, at the time I recorded that, I hadn't fully been utilizing the free Kindle services through our local library. So that's another way if you're trying to get access to some books for free and you don't want to go to the library or can't because the hours are reduced with the pandemic and whatnot, that's another great way to get free digital copies of books. And you can read those on your Kindle or your e-reader. And that's another great way to increase your reading. Another benefit of used books is that your kids can see you reading an actual book. And that's really important when they're learning to read or trying to be inspired to read. And when you're done with it, you can donate it back to that used bookstore or to a friend, or keep it for your collection if you really enjoyed it. And here's another advantage of even using used books. Have you ever thought of giving away a book at the beginning of a meeting as a prize? Or give it away to friends on Facebook, offer local delivery and spread some cheer. Stick it in your friend's mailbox and brighten their day if they're looking for a free book.